Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Good afternoon, Doc. And I hope, and I was thinking about this from another call, a lot of people today in the Kansas City market and beyond are super duper sad. And I said, because A, I love Mondays, and B, I'm kind of a kumbaya girl. If there are so many games in the NFL every year, and so many postseason games in the NFL every year, and only one after that, it sounds pretty amazing that we got a whole bunch of games played and only missed one. So what do you think, Doc?
I'm sad, Queenie.
So my little flip the switch didn't help you, huh?
I'm trying. No, not many teams made it as far as they did. That still
Right.
doesn't, and of course I'm an armchair quarterback and coach, and I know better than the people that do it all the time and get paid for it.
That's good. How awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sad, but they made it this far.
Oh, absolutely, 1,000,000%. And I think that is super cool. Then, of course, for me, the deal always is when you're ahead that much, get ahead-er. And
That's
didn't
good English
happen.
there.
I know, thanks. Yeah, I'm a scholar.
Well, we should celebrate as far as they got. And speaking of celebrations, I had to put this up here. We had fun celebrating our birthdays. Was that last week?
I think, yeah, I'm telling you what, timing is just schedules. Just trying to get an appointment with you is cool. I feel blessed and honored that you're with us today. I do. I just honestly, the scheduled timing is amazing. And it was a blast. And I felt that, in fact, I actually might do this just because I can. The lovely restaurant we went to is Jasper's over in Kansas City, and they would not put the quantity of candles required for my age.
You're only 29. I don't know what
I know, but they said there were fire ordinances and they couldn't do that. And so I thought that was awesome that they gave us dessert. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was funny because we did not know the second set of plates was coming. So
Oh gosh.
we ordered our dessert, and then he came with 4 plates, and we're like,
yeah. And I was like, cool. Yeah. Bring it. Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Bring it on, sister. But oh my gosh, that was attention to detail.
Yes.
Old world classic charm with a current eclectic flair. I mean, I could not have asked for a better evening with you. Now, again, the schedule timing is so hard. For those of you watching with us today on Doc and Queenie Facebook Live, Doc's birthday is December 14th, and mine is in January. And so whatever year. And so, but honestly, it's back to that same drill. Getting schedules coordinated is just like, you've got to be kidding. So anyway, last week was the first time that we could actually get schedules handled to be able to celebrate both birthdays. But holy moly, that place, you had not been before, you mentioned.
Nope, but I grew up in an Italian home. My mother did, it's funny, I looked up Italian recipes a couple of years ago, and everything that was on their list of things to make, my mother made. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we were really Italian.
Yeah.
And this was, I am biased because I grew up eating that way, and it was excellent. It was excellent. The tiramisu.
Well, and I can see why you're biased, because if your mom cooked like Jasper does, this is phenomenal start to finish. And again, attention to detail. I love that kind of stuff. And our server couldn't have been better. It was Cody. Then we got to meet another server named Mel. They offer cooking classes the last Saturday of every month. And out on this, what I guess you would call a closed-in terrace looking over Indian Creek. And the view is breathtaking. And it's a wonderful place to go if you haven't been yet, or if you go all the time. Definitely consider supporting a local restaurateur, and certainly one of the local chefs around here that has put his name on the map times a million. It was a blast.
Do you remember what I asked you when I heard that they had the cooking classes on Saturday, Queenie?
What?
You do. Hey, let's go. And you're like,
I can hardly wait to do that, Doc. Oh my
and then I
God.
laid the guilt trip on you. Well, I don't have anybody else to go with. And I whined a little bit.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it didn't work with, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and obviously I would be going there for the dynamic cuisine and just to be there with Jasper because oh my gosh, he's an entertainer as well as a rock star chef, and everything about it's cool. I actually have been to a cooking class, so no laughing for all of you watching with us today, but his flair is just one more thing to pay attention to. And then of course there's terms that he uses like until the onions are clear, or some kind of these kind of things that he says, and a saute and all these different kind of words. And I'm going, well, there you go. Thank you. But it's until the onions are clear. What does that mean? And then you do a, what is it when the sauce gets smaller?
When you, oh gosh, yeah, you would pick like the, you
Okay.
basically boil it down. I can't think of it.
Okay.
Somebody help me.
Right. See,
but I know what you mean.
So all of a sudden he wants the onions.
You
Thank
reduce.
And
Reduction.
so, and
There
then
you
you take the reduction with the clear onions and glaze it over the something. And I'm like, dude, just slop it on a plate, get it out here and I'll be fine. And he just, the attention to detail is what I absolutely love. I love presentation. Obviously the taste is important, the flavor, all that stuff. But I just can't imagine a better place to go than Jasper's as far as a local chef.
Yes. And I now that I've been there, I would concur.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
ask me to
awesome.
spell the word, but I would concur.
So if you do get to go to the cooking class on the last Saturday of every month, check their schedule and website for details. Do ask for Mel because she's adorable, fun, exciting, and she loves what she does. She's been with the family for 5 years, and she could not give Jasper's and his team enough accolades. So it's very cool.
You can tell it was sincere. It wasn't a,
Absolutely. And that was the other deal. When you work somewhere, obviously paycheck, blah, blah, blah. But her love for the location, for the family, you could see it.
Yep.
And like I say, I can't say enough about it. There were celebrity sightings, if you will, not just us, but it was just a blast.
It was a huge blast. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Queenie.
I knew Queenie is a segue. So where are we going?
Well, we have to do our National Day of, I only picked 2 today because the list was long and it was weird.
I'm still recovering from last week's National Beer Can Day. You kind of messed with my brain last week, Doc.
You don't like, oh darn, I took the pictures off on my background. I already got them off. Here, let's replace that with.
Oh, Doc, you're killing me.
It's National Bubble Wrap Day and it's National Scotch Tape Day.
Wow.
Now, I only use Scotch tape between November and December for presents because I, of course, shop early and I wrap in advance. And bubble wrap in my family, I don't know about anybody else's, but the small bubble wrap, if a package or something comes in bubble wrap, it gets stolen and you hear popping. Sometimes they'll put it on the floor and they'll jump on it. Yeah, it's I don't know if you call it cheap entertainment.
It sounds like it's a Christine classic to me.
It must be a Christine classic. Yes, bubble wrap popping. And
oh my gosh, happy National Bubble Wrap and Scotch Tape Day.
You can't even say it. Yes, National Scotch Tape Day. So if anybody needs, a networking opener, did you know, or happy National Scotch Tape Day.
Now, what I have shared before on Doc and Queenie, especially actually during lockdown, during quarantine, I suggested that people take a package of toilet paper as door prizes for their back in person meetings, because it would start a conversation, and especially depending upon your business, if toilet paper has anything to do with what you do for a living, that's kind of cool. I can see people doing bubble wrap as a door prize, because what are you doing with that? it's National Bubble Wrap Day. And then you have not only a conversation starter, but then you've got a Christine classic that your family can jump on the bubble
It's
wrap.
therapy. Yeah.
Topic. Yeah. Yeah. Therapy. That's a good one.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's therapy like that. And then there's therapy like this picture. Like we hope that we have the tropical weather coming soon to a place near you. We're supposed to get snow Tuesday night, was it? I don't know. I haven't checked lately.
La la
Yeah.
la la la.
Yes.
Mm,
So this
yeah,
is
and
my favorite place. So if anybody wants to take me for free, I'd be happy to go. This is the island of St. Lucia.
okay, there we go. I was going to say, if you're going to tell us what your favorite place is, because I know that you said Caribbean was one of your best trips. And so this is Island of St. Lucia. Is that what that actually is?
Yes.
So how many ports of call did you guys have when you were doing your thing?
We did 5 or 6 between Martinique and St. Lucia, different areas of both islands.
But you were on a private yacht, not a cruise line thing,
correct.
right? Okay.
Correct. We were on a 55-foot sailboat.
Okay. Yeah, but it was just you guys. It was not people, public
No,
people.
just
Yeah,
4
okay.
of us. Yeah.
So you could go wherever you wanted during that time
Yes.
as far as ports of call. Okay. That really is beautiful. That's a breathtaking view, needless to say.
It was. We did on this island the smartest thing you could ever do. This island, they speak English, which is great. Martinique, they speak French. And I took Spanish, so that, but it's a Romance language. So there were some words that were the same, just didn't pronounce it correctly. But this island, we did the smartest thing. We, when we wanted to take a tour, and this was on our tour, we hired a taxi driver. So, and the roads are like this wide and they spiral up and down the mountains. And we just kind of like looked out the window. But I'm glad we weren't driving. They were going 50, 60 miles an hour around Hairpin. Yeah, it was an adventure. You don't need a roller coaster. And everybody would drive like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how did you go from getting your sea legs to being on the cruise on the yacht for this long to now worried about land and a driver that's going so fast up a mountain? That would cause a lot of stomach discombobulation, I would think.
Well, I had the stomach problems on the boat when we would go from port to port. I was fine otherwise, but no, we would make a point to do something every day. And this was actually, this was our second day in St. Lucia. Yeah. Yeah. We did hiking. We did this thing. This was cool because we stopped at, they had little, like, we would call them farmers markets here, little strips of the locals, as soon as you stop, they
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a very poor, it's a poor area. It's a very poor area.
Isn't that amazing that their poor area is our resort town? And that's always amazing to me because when you first pulled that picture up, it looks a little bit like the Diamond Head volcano stuff in Hawaii. And I thought, oh my gosh. And so, but that's why I was wondering that it's a breathtaking picture.
That's the mountains are in the middle of the island, and the jungle is in the middle, and all of the towns are around, around the outer skirts. But yeah, very poor. But the one thing I noticed, very poor, but very happy and very laid back people. They're very, very nice.
Now, did one person named Dr. Laura go to the top of that there mountain?
No, we did not because we could not, we were actually almost to the top of where the road would go. It only went up about 8,000 feet. So, yeah, no. And we were
and take pictures of you with my feet in the water. So let's do that.
Yeah, we were with the taxi guy for half a day. And, after driving up the mountain and then driving down the mountain, we about had enough. Yeah. So then we soaked in mineral springs, which were heated by, they still have an active volcano.
Wow.
And then slathered volcano ash all over us, which was weird, but great for your skin.
Why is it great for your skin? Exfoliant or what?
It pulls the impurities out, and then just the warm, pure water. Yeah, it was 102. I do believe the water temperature was 102 degrees. Perfect. And
very spa-esque.
It was. It was. Take me away. Yes. But hopefully we'll just have to remember, the warmth for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. They've actually predicted after forecasted, pardon me, not predicted, I guess. But if the forecast says snow 6 to 12 inches, depending upon your location in the Midwest region, and then freezing after that, the helicopter guy, Johnny Rollins is the one I listened to, said, it is going to be here, friends, for a while. So do not expect the roads to be clear and fabulous as they are now, heading into the 60-degree mark. So prepare thyself. And I was like, OMG. So when Johnny Rollins decides to participate in the weather forecast, that can only be dismal for those of us thinking about going around town at all.
Yes, definitely. So, Queenie.
Uh-oh. Yes, Doc.
I found this great quote today that I'm just going to throw out there and see what you come up with.
Okay.
People don't buy what you do. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So I was going to make a comment on, we've talked about swoopers. I had several swoopers last week. We did one-on-ones, and then I had people just basically pounding on me to buy something.
I feel it seems at the end of the year and the beginning of the year is desperation time. End of the year, you're trying to close out your numbers to make sure that you're topping your company or whatever that looks like. And beginning of the year, it's like, I got to make sure I make more money this year than I did last year. And so actually December, January seems to be swooper time. And for those of you watching with us today, swooper is just a term that I coined just because I was calling it barfer, which you can see swooper is a bit more delicate, but people swoop in, barf your business and hit the road. You never see them again. And one of the chapters actually in my third book talks about swooper specific swoopers. And that's the piece that I look on that and I go, for me, you just missed the entire point of why you got into the business or the industry that you did. And that really does kind of break my heart. And the bigger point is look what it did to you. It gave you a bad taste in your mouth. Praise God, you already have networking experience from your vast over the years experience. That's the piece that what happens to a brand new person? They've never networked before. They go to an event either online or in person. Somebody swoops in, barfs their business, hits the road. That new person ain't coming back.
Right. Well, and then how often have we heard people that are in business say, well, networking doesn't work. And I always think about, are you a swooper? Nobody's going to buy your stuff if you're shoving it down their throat when you just met them 5 minutes ago.
Oh my, but that's why I say it breaks my heart because the newbies are clueless going, if this is how networking is, I don't want to play.
Right.
It really does make me sad. I was actually on a call this morning with a girl in Las Vegas. And I've met her a couple times on Delinda Lane's Fun Fearless Female, whether she's doing an interview or a Wow Wednesday or whatever Delinda's events would be over the years. And I've met her several times. She's super sweet. And she and her husband are remodeling their kitchen. So they want a Kangen water machine. So she wanted to know if it would be okay to meet. And as soon as she said 7 a.m., I had this jolt of, I didn't know there was a 7 a.m., only a 7 p.m. And so.
Is that her time or yours?
Yes, her time. So I said, I can do this. So anyway, the questions that she asked were amazing. And I didn't know what her questions would be. So it's not like I prepare a script for my water meetings. But anyway, that is an interesting thing to me. Apparently, there have been people swooping on her and on her husband because they put out there, we're remodeling our kitchen and we need. So they, of course, are going bam, 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 bam. And she was kind of going, is there anything else you want to share with us? And I said, I just wanted to know what your questions are. Let's go that way. And you could kind of tell she was going, this ain't what I'm used to, sister. And, but I seriously don't do that. I have what you need and I probably have what you want, but I don't know what you want yet. And so that for me is the conversation part. So.
Well, yeah, there's it's almost would you say it's fair to say there's an etiquette? An etiquette to the one-on-one?
Etiquette, yes. And also for me, it would be technique or skill.
Technique, yeah. Because I was going to say one thing that I've been doing lately, and it, it's just from learning how to network. And it's always, I'm always open to change and refining and all that. At the end, I always ask people, how can I help you? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, how can I help you? And that might come out with some people say, what is your perfect client? If they ask me that, I'm like, everybody. We'll narrow it down to everybody because I can help everybody, just like you with the water, everybody. So I've kind of flipped that around to how can I help you? Is there somebody I can introduce you to? Oh, you want to know about what networking? Of course, there's Doc and Queenie. But happy neighborhood project and this and that, yeah.
And that's a beautiful way to say it. The Christian Women Entrepreneur Network is one of my favorites. Fun Fearless Female, of course, with Delinda Lane is one of my favorites. We've got a huge presence in ACA Club here in Kansas City and several other locations in the country. It's back to that same thing. Which group is going to be a good fit for that particular person? We have several BNI chapters that are still meeting virtually, some hybrid. And so it just depends on what your DNA is. And even with the personality sales training system that I have used, the type of networking groups you want to go to says a lot about your own personality, your own makeup. And just like you were mentioning, Doc, if people say networking doesn't work, and then all of a sudden you say, well, it works for me. I mean, look at your business explosive, by the way. And so when people see that and they go, well, how come it works for you and not for me? And there's always a way to look at that, just like the technique, the etiquette piece, the skill level, better, you do better type of thing. And I love that part of what Doc and Queenie's been able to do, connect people that haven't met yet before.
Well, and then, to add on to that, and I know you've trained on this and you've said it also, when the timing is right, it'll happen. Our responsibility period is just to keep moving forward. Just keep doing what you're doing. It works. It's not overnight, right? You're a overnight, how many years success?
Yeah, I'm an overnight success. It only took 14 years.
Yeah. Really, is that all?
Yeah, it was super fast.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I saw that and I'm like, we'll have to talk about that. And I'd also like to talk about, while I've got you captive, Queenie, is we've had some fantastic guest lives and just throwing it out there for if anybody wants to talk about their business, or if you don't want to talk about your business, or if you have something else to say. We had a gal by the name of Kim Mitchell last week who gets dreams and visions, and she was sharing one of her dreams, which she only shared a little bit piece, but I'm already going, I need to know more. So
you know what, when you first introduced me to Kim, I was like, I guess the word would be enthralled. You know how when you meet someone, now first impressions aren't always correct, I guess, but in this particular case, I met her and I was just like, I need to know more about this girl. And so I've had the experience to meet her a couple more times, and I can't get enough of the message that she has. And it seems like it goes from God's mouth to her ears, and she then shares it, which is cool. A lot of people who have her gift keep it to themselves, I guess, because I don't hear a lot of other people doing this. And all of a sudden she said, I had a dream about, and I had this of something and a vision of this. And most people are like, yeah, you're a freak. And she's sitting here going, take it or leave it. This is what God told me. And I can't even tell. And especially if Kim is listening, whatever you've got going on, sister, we want more of it.
Yeah. Well, God speaks to us all in different ways. It might be subtle. It might be a hammer. It might be a dream. It might be a vision.
Might be a brick on your head all day long. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Amen.
You might hear Laura Lee or Catherine. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah. When you get those words, you just back off and let it happen. Yeah, I know that because I do those kind of, but look what you said with the keep it going part. If all of a sudden God gives you a message and you stop, then what did that accomplish? If he gives you a message and you keep rolling with it, how do we know who he's going to put in our path tomorrow? I have absolutely no idea. This girl today that was interested in the water machine, she's known about me for probably maybe 3, maybe 4 years now. And now the word is in there. Can you explain to me why this water is different? We want to make a correct decision for our home. And I'm just like, sure, what are your questions? And you could just kind of tell that she was expecting a, let's double entendre deluge of information. That's not going to do people any good. First of all, when you speak it, they don't remember it anyway, because they might not be familiar with those terms. And she was taking notes actually, but let's try this. What happens when you meet someone and they buy you something, and then down the road you become friends, and they go, remember when you barfed on me about your whatever it is? I was really surprised, but now we're friends, so I guess it's okay. But I look back and I go, ew. And so is that what you want someone to say long term? How would you treat your best friend? And actually, one of the gentlemen in our water business wrote, selling as if you were selling to your grandma. That's the wrong title, but something like that. And obviously think about your grandma. You're going to sell your grandma something. I bet you would do it differently than how you would do it if you're selling your prospect at the Chamber of Commerce meeting. And so I've thought about that before. If you think about how you would sell to your grandma, you would not do it the way you're doing it now for the swooping thing.
And a lot of people are trying to help others. Networking is a great way to help others by learning about people, and then you can, try and pair up or match if somebody's looking for. I've done that several times. Oh, I'm looking for such and such. Oh, I know so and so, and here's their contact information. It's all about who you know. And if you're going to be a swooper and it turns out not so well, it's all about who you know. Word can travel fast. Word can travel fast.
I love it when people say, thank you for connecting me to. But then I have also heard the flip side. If you ever send someone like that to me again, pumpkin, that's it. And so, that's a paraphrase also, but it really is the deal. You have to match the personality with the product, of course, but that's back to the networking thing, top of mind, social media, all the things that we talk about. And it is so fun for me to think of all the cool, amazing people on my Kangen water team. And I look at that now, and I know perfectly well being able to call any of them and say, how's your this, or what's your that, or what's happening in your family. And I know the family names, I know the people. And it's not just a sell a water machine and be done. It's now all of them don't do that because that's not their issue. Like, they want a machine, thank you, goodbye kind of thing. I get that. But the other ones are sitting here going, this is part of my day. And then I get a text message and which water is it again that I use for whatever they need? And so I answer that back. I can't always obviously take a phone call, but I can usually sneak a text even when I'm in these meetings all day long. It's so amazing to see how people, just like in the comment section of this video, actually, think about that, Doc, the connections that we've made. If Kim's not on Facebook, is that right, Kim Mitchell?
No, not much.
And then when all of a sudden she would see all these messages, get Kim back on Guest Live. And you can kind of see being able to share that with other people. And then this person says, who's Kim Mitchell? Here's the link to Doc and Queenie Guest Live when Kim was on the call. And it really is very cool. And for me, that is the network of networking. And I seriously love that. So any pressure here as far as a new date for Kim coming back?
Actually, I talked to her this morning and I'm just like, if you're ready, and she's like, well, I'll let you know.
Wow, cool.
So I'll be seeing her tomorrow, actually.
Okay,
So
that's pretty fabulous because like I say, I can't get enough of her, and her impact is powerful and it's fun to watch.
Yes, definitely. So what else is new, Queenie?
Well, I happen to know, a little birdie told me that a certain Dr. Laura Christine is hosting a posting party next week. Do you know who that would be, Dr. Laura?
I don't know. And I don't have my posting background, but that's I'll do that. Or I could just put up our birthday pictures again.
You know what? I'm telling you.
Yeah, I talked to the same birdie. Was it a little black and white birdie that
kind of like that. Yeah.
I heard February 8th at 11 a.m. with
time.
Central Time. Thank you. With kitchen garden expert and Kathy Weaver KC. Of course, I have to say .com. Yeah. Yeah, so it's
It's
going to be
so
fun. It's going to
fun.
be a posting party for LinkedIn, which you've got a lot of knowledge about LinkedIn and watching the algorithms and watching the interactions and connections with people. And posting parties are just fantastic. They're fun. It's amazing to watch that once the ball gets rolling, the connections of people. And my first experience with it, we had a small group of people and I was just starting with LinkedIn and I got like 65 to 70 hits on one little, I don't even remember what I put, but that was just kind of, so it's going to be interesting this time around. My network's a lot bigger and we'll see. There's a lot of people coming and we were talking about connections and who I actually had a gal, and I don't know if she watches us on Facebook because we always are passing. We'll check in maybe 6 months, maybe every year. It's just that we pick up where we left off. I used to actually work in the same space that she was at, and she signed up. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
that's
going to be fun.
cool.
So,
All right, that is cool.
so if anybody wants to check out the posting party, just sign up. We've got,
I
we've got,
No,
sorry,
I was
go ahead.
gonna say, I'm super excited to meet your friends. And I really do mean that because once again, how that network thing works just rocks my world because I made a phone call today to pay one of my bills for lawn service stuff over this next year. And if you do it before February 5th, you get a discount, blah, blah, blah. So I just called in because I thought, what the heck, not an issue. So I said who I was, and you could tell there was this pause. And then she said, so are you still with the Chamber of Commerce? And I thought, because a lot of people actually thought I worked there. I was so active and so visible kind of thing. And I said, no, most of my networking has gone online now, virtual. And she said, well, I remember you. And I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, she told me the company that she worked with. And I went, oh my gosh, I told her everything about herself. The first time I saw her, the committee she was on, what she did for us, all this stuff. And I said, are you still with that company too? And she said, no, I've been here for 7 years and I got out of the other one slowly. But she said, now I'm not with them at all. But we knew everything about each other because what does that say? It's a memory topic that networking is not just a one and done kind of deal. Because I haven't been with that chamber actually for a while, but I joined the chamber closer to my home. And so all of that networking thing happened because like I say, when she did this pause, I was like, huh. And so anyway, we had a great laugh about it. And I actually gave her a couple more referrals. I've got some friends who need lawn service. And of course I live on the corner of a busy street kind of. And so people go by and go, your lawn is just gorgeous. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I tell them who I have that takes care of it. And it's just a networking thing, but I've had the same company for 27 years. And so they've never let me down. And it's just wonderful. But that's back to the networking thing. I met her at Chamber. She remembered me. She said something. She said, I see your name floating around here all the time. And I thought, uh-oh, that can't be good. And
well, it proves people are watching and remember, impressions are everything.
Absolutely.
They really are.
Absolutely. And they watch when you least expect it, FYI. And but having a posting party, if you make a post and it goes absolutely nowhere, it stays like nowhere. Did you use a hashtag? Did you tag an entity or you? Like, let's do that. I'm posting something at Laura Christine, and now you see it, which means your vast network sees it, and it keeps launching that way. Oh my gosh. And just from calling in to pay my bill for the year and to get that piece over with, I now sent her some clients and she remembered me from Chamber. And you just never know who's out there. It's phenomenal.
No. Well, and like you were talking about just some of the basics with the hashtags and, hashtags, it's big for what I love to do. I'm on the Instagram and I'm doing the reels.
I can't wait to open your reel. I swear, every time, because I know it's going to be something eclectic. It's a blast to watch your reels. Now, how do you get music to it? Is that a rough thing to do?
No, it's with the app. So they provide, and actually you can watch other people's Instagrams and click on the music and save it. So I've got quite a library of different things to choose. But did you see my Instagram from yesterday?
No, actually I haven't. I haven't had time.
Gotten there yet because you were watching the football game. I got frustrated and I went outside.
Yeah, no, I actually haven't been on social media yet today, but I am super excited. What is it? Can you tell me?
Well, I was throwing down some grass seed.
All
I,
right.
a
How
lot
many
of
views so
people do it.
far?
I'm sorry.
How many views
How
so
many
far?
views? I checked yesterday after about an hour and I was about at 1500s,
Oh my
1500
gosh.
accounts that I reached. Yeah. My record is like 2300. And that was I'm trying to remember which one that wasn't the banana. I chopped up bananas one time and that was up until the 2300. I think I almost hit 2000. But yeah, but it's all hashtags. I mean, that's what pulls in the accounts that it reaches. It just fascinates me and it's fun. But yeah, I was outside throwing grass seed down. A lot of people are like, don't you do that in the fall? Actually, I do it in the fall. And then I usually do it around Thanksgiving and I didn't this year. And since we haven't had a lot of snow,
Nope.
because that's actually, I threw down seed in a certain area yesterday because when the snow tops it, it will insulate it. And then when it melts, it'll soak in and that'll get that area sprouting a little bit faster than normal. Yeah.
Weather
So,
is such a large impact on what you do. And I really do.
yes.
I think that is super cool.
But I'm getting the itch. These 50-degree days in January just don't help because I want to
Yeah.
be out there doing something and I can't. Because
Our
it's
beautiful friend Debbie Miller posted today, 47 days till spring. And I knew you would love that. But those are the kind of things I think of because literally when I'm popping on to do birthdays, I haven't looked at everybody's posting yet, but hers was the first one. And so I just thought, oh my gosh, but isn't it a cool thing? And one thing I'd like to share with all of you watching or even on the replay today, please remember occasionally to Google yourself. Okay, please remember, because you're back to that same drill. What is the message out there? What am I known as or for? How can people find me? Do I make it easy or do I make it challenging? So Google yourself, either hashtag kitchen garden expert or hashtag Laura Christine or hashtag Kangen Water in Kansas City or hashtag, or just type in Kathy Weaver KC. Is your brand doing what it's supposed to do algorithmically? And so if it's not, then you know where to up your game. Now,
well, and I was gonna say you had something happen last week that kind of caught you off guard. There was somebody that referred to Doc and Queenie that was outside of our networks.
yes,
right?
Yes. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you're Doc and Queenie. And I went,
What?
yeah, but just like with you, with your reels, all of a sudden with Instagram, if everything is a hashtag, I bet when you type in Laura Christine or hashtag kitchen garden expert, the first one of the first ones of your platform on the front page is going to be your Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah. And probably for me, it'll be my, probably LinkedIn at this point, maybe still Facebook, but if whatever platform you're using to benefit yourself and your company and your traffic, then usually that's what comes up first. But just please remember to Google yourself and see if what is out there is what you want out there.
Yes. So guess what, Queenie?
What, Doc?
We are out of time.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna have to start doing this for 2 or 3 hours a day.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, seriously. As soon as you can fit me in, Doc, let me know.
Sure. Yeah, same for you, Queenie. You're just as busy. Mine just looks different. I just get dirty. I get dirty. I have to do laundry more often.
Ew. Ew.
I'm trying to recover from my comment and it's not working well.
Ew.
I'm out
Sounds
in the dirt
like
digging. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right. Well, thank you everyone for joining Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at. You can reach Kathy Weaver and all of her social media at Kathy Weaver KC anywhere or her website at kathyweaverkc.com. You can reach Doc, Kitchen Garden Expert, all over the place on social media or kitchengardenexpert.com. So we are available on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. for Bible trivia. If you are into that, we would love to have you join us or not. And we've got guest live spots open. If you'd like to have a little conversation, it'd be great to learn more about you. If not, we will see you right back here next Monday at. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queenie. Have a great week.
Thank you, Doc. Bye now.
Bye.